Hello everyone, and today I am doing another Send Asides audio. Before we begin, this is book 2 because being stupid as I am, I got rid of all my progress on my first book. So, yeah, that was fun. But anyways, I've got a second book here and I'm gonna read it. Just a heads up before we continue, this audio has some singing in it, so I might get a copyright claim. But anyways, let's get started. Taking Action, Chapter 3, Secret Spill and Broken Trust. Oh, I guess I didn't miss the game after all, the unknown figure spoke. Why are you here? Janice snapped at the figure. Remus looked at Janice. You know this freak? Remus spoke, his voice becoming stern slowly. Janice stopped and looked at Remus. Well, yes, I do know them, Janice muttered. Remus looked and became extremely stern. How do you know him? Remus said loudly. Which is not at all how I said it. Remus recoiled slightly at the shouting. Why haven't you told me about him? I thought we said no more secrets from each other, Remus yelled. Janice was getting frightened now. Yes, I know. I said no more secrets, but Janice was cut off. But what? He's been putting you in danger and pain. You didn't tell me, Remus yelled at Janice. It only took those few words to start a bad argument. Remus and Janice both started arguing with each other until, if you really want to, if you really just want to argue, then just leave, Janice shouted out of anger. There was a scary silence before Remus responded. Fine, I will. Remus spoke, starting to walk to the door. Wait, Remus, I didn't mean that. Janice was becoming distressed. Pardon. Please, Remus, don't leave, please. But Remus had already left. Janice was just there. The figure had disappeared. I didn't mean it, Janice whispered before he teleported to his room. Remus arrived at the light side. The others looked at him as he entered. Hello, kiddo. Why are you What's wrong, kiddo? Patton asked, concerned. Remus sat down at the couch before he explained everything to the others. That snake! Virgil hissed out. Take it easy, kiddo. We don't know what Janice could have been going through, Janet Patton said calmly. A few hours passed, and Remus had set up his room in the spare room. He sighed before he thought back on the argument. Remus shook his head and flopped back on his bed, pulling his phone out and unlocked it. He put his headphones in and put music on, and closed his eyes and mumbled the lyrics. I'm trying to find the song. Please ignore this.
The world's not perfect, but it's not that bad. If we got each other and that's all we have, I will be your lover and I'll hold your hand. You should know I'll be there for you when the world's not perfect, when the world's not kind. If we have each other, then we'll both be fine. I will be your lover and I'll hold your hand. You should know I'll be there for you.
Remus sung softly, then he changed the song and sung along again.
I'm sorry, but don't wanna talk. I need a moment before I go. It's nothing personal. I draw the blinds. They don't need to see me cry. Cause even if they understand, they don't understand. So then when I'm finished, I'm all about my business and ready to save the world. I'm taking my misery, making my bitch can be everyone's favorite girl. So take aim and fight away. I've never been so right away. No, Nobody but me can keep me safe, and I'm on my way. The black moon is on the rise, a fire burning in my eyes. No, nobody but me can keep me safe, and I'm on my way.
Remus sung along, and that passed 2.5 hours before Patton came into his room to bring him down for dinner. Remus followed him downstairs and then took his dinner from Patton. Thank you, Patton. Remus sat down on the couch. You're welcome, kiddo, Patton responded as he sat down next to Logan. Everyone started eating at their own pace as they talked to each other. After dinner, they all stayed up for movie night, and when the movie was finished, Remus was the only one still awake. He was scrolling through his phone and somehow ended up in his photo roll, scrolling through photos of him and Janice. Remus put his headphones on and watched the old videos that were recorded of both of them. Remus smiled softly as he watched one of the videos of Janice and him at the beach. Janice was going into the water and being kind of silly of how cold the water was. Ah, it's too cold, Janice squeaked. Oh, come on, it's not that bad, Remus called out back to him in the video. Remus smiled at the video as he watched his past self put the camera down and then tackled Janice into the water. Remus kept scrolling and watching other videos until he got to the top. He then turned his phone off and teleported everyone to bed. Then he went to the spare room and laid down. The argument kept replaying in his head before Remus shook his head and closed his eyes, drifting off to sleep. When morning broke, Remus opened his eyes and sat up. He had a horrible nightmare that night. Remus got changed and bolted to the dark side. He needed to see Janice. When he arrived, it was very quiet. He called out, Jan, it's me. Please come out. There was no answer. Remus searched the entire house, but there was no trace of Janice at all. Remus started to worry, and questions started running through his head like, is Janice okay? Is Janice hurt? Where is he? Is he safe? Remus couldn't stop thinking. He just wanted to know if Janice was okay and safe. Remus went to Logan and made him track Janice because every side has a tracking beacon. As soon as Janice's coordinates were found, Remus got the coordinates on his phone and dashed out the door, heading to those coordinates. As soon as Janice... Wait, excuse me. 20 minutes later, Remus arrived at Janice's coordinates, then stopped. He was at the orange side, the one forbidden place for all sides. Thomas made that very clear to all of them. Why was Janice here? He knows Thomas said not to come here at any point. Remus got in through the vents and crawled through, watching from above. Remus spotted Janice, but he didn't look the same. In fact, he didn't look normal at all. Janice's eyes were orange along with his scales. His hair was black, with everything else that was yellow was now orange, and his gold chain was silver. Remus couldn't believe his eyes. His whole world was now an orange side. He was now the enemy. Remus shook his head. He didn't care if his world was an enemy. He didn't love him any less than he had before. Remus spotted 3 other orange sides enter the room and stay quiet. Ah, you did as you were told for once, one of the sides pronounced. Strangely, Janice didn't have any reaction to them. After the 3 sides left, Remus got down and ran over to Janice. Jan, please snap out of it. I'm right here. It's all right now, Remus uttered as he shook Janice, wanting him to snap out of whatever state he was in. It took about 3 attempts until Janice finally came around, his eyes going back to the normal yellow and black. Sorry, his normal yellow and not brown. Remus? Janice asked softly. Yes, it's me, Jan. You're gonna be okay, Remus managed to blurt out. Janice collapsed into his arms. He was so exhausted. Remus picked up Janice and got into the vents and crawled out with Janice. But they weren't getting away that easy. Little did they know they had been spotted as they entered the vents. Remus kept crawling through as Janice clung to him from underneath, being in the safest position for that time being. Remus got out and jumped down with Janice still clung to him weakly. Remus smiled and went to start running back when he froze. Well, what do we have here? The enemy trying to make off with one of us. Well, isn't that just rude? One of the unknown figures pronounced as they came out of the darkness. They had Vansa black hair that swayed back and forth. Their eyes were a mix of dark orange and light orange. They had ripped jeans with a tie-dyed orange shirt. They had ripped jeans with a tie-dyed orange and black swelled hoodie with quite short sleeves. Who are you? Remus snapped at the figure. Titch. Wait, tch. Surprised you haven't figured that out yet, but I am Jealousy, he stated. And who might you be? He asked back at them. Why should we tell you? Remus hissed back at him. Jealousy rolled his eyes. Tch. Oh well, now, you either give him back or you're not getting out of here alive, he stated cold-heartedly. You're not touching him, Remus snapped, but the only reaction he got was a sigh. I warned you. Jealousy then disappeared into the darkness of the forest. Remus was about to start running when he was again stopped in his tracks. But it wasn't jealousy. No, it was a different side. More stronger, more powerful, more smarter. Well, well, well. What do we have here? Jealousy told me about you. Trying to make off with an orange side, Remus glared at them. He's not an orange side. You just made him that way by you. He was just made that way by you. He's a dark side, he snipped. The side smirked. You really think I kidnapped him and turned him into an orange side? Ha! He came to us. The poor thing had no hope left. So we made a deal. He gets to stay here and be an orange side, but he is not allowed to go back. Ever, the side pronounced. Remus paused at that. He had no hope left? How could he have been so stupid? Of course he came here. Janice's hope had been stupidly low for so long. Remus was the only person keeping that little bit of hope in him. But because he left, that hope had vanished. I'm sorry, Jan. I'm so sorry, Remus mumbled to Janice, who was asleep in his arms. Aw, how sweet, but how pathetic, the side declared before summoning a crimson and silver vorpal sword. They will not be leaving. Remus kept Janice close, as he brought out his morning star with his other hand. Yes, he will. He will be coming home. Then that's how the most powerful fight between the second most powerful orange side and the third most powerful dark side started. Remus kept fighting with one arm while the other was keeping Janice safe and keeping him close, blocking any hits or attacks on Janice with his arm. Say about 6 hours later, the two finally stopped fighting. Fine, take him back, but we will be back to claim him back. The orange side hissed out before disappearing into smoke. Remus sighed and looked down at a sleeping, uninjured Janice in his arms. Remus smiled and walked the way back to the dark side, where he was greeted by 4 worried light sides. Are you all right? Patton said with panic in his voice. Calm down, Patton. We're both okay, Remus replied back, his voice mostly calm. Why does Janice look? Logan begun. He was on the orange side and forced to be turned into one of them. Are you able to turn him back? Remus explained. It took a few minutes for Logan to process that before he answered. That makes sense. And yes, I can turn him back, but we will need to be on the dark side for it to work, otherwise he'll be turned into a light side, Logan explained. Remus listened and nodded, teleporting to the dark side with Janice and Logan. Remus laid Janice down on the couch and sat down next to him, carefully laying Janice's head in his lap. As Logan set the things up, they would need to transpose Janice back into a dark side. But as Logan was doing so, Janice woke. His head rolled from side to side a few times before he opened his eyes to see Remus, his smile, and his green and red eyes glistening with tears. He tried to keep his tears from falling on Janice's face and failing somewhat. Janice wiped his face and sat up, crawling into Remus's embrace. Remus wiped his eyes and let Janice crawl into his arms as he held him close in his embrace as he let himself and Janice settle down. There was a tiny yawn before he spoke. "How long was I out for?" Janice asked with a small voice. "Almost 7.5 hours." Janice rested his head on Remus's shoulder, and Remus teleported them both to the rooftop while Logan continued to set everything up. Janice stayed in Remus's embrace, feeling safe and secure. Remus rubbed Janice's arm in a gentle, slow pace as they watched the moon rise from where the sun had once been, as the stars shined in the night sky. "I'm happy you're back, Jan," Remus spoke softly after a while. "Yes, I am too, happy to be back," Janice replied in a soft tone. About 3.5 hours later, Logan had finished setting up and called Janice and Remus down from the roof. Janice and Remus both got down and followed Logan into the living room, where amazed of how much he was able to set up from something so simple. It wasn't really simple, but you get the idea. And that's where it ends for part 1 of Taking Action. I hope you all have enjoyed this as much as I have. I really am enjoying writing this and reading this to you guys. So, to show your appreciation, leave a like, that'd be greatly appreciated. Sub if you're new, because it helps out the channel a lot. And have an awesome day or night, people. And I will catch you all in the next video. Goodbye, everyone.